I want to ask you, what was the last thing that you wrote? What is your... what's your last piece? I even hesitate because sometimes it seems that you don't even write a piece, because it's so... I don't even know if the words apply. When did you last make a work?
The last score, I say, has been this Foucault quotation. But at the beginning of the year, I'm working on some other quotations. So it's difficult for me to say the last because I just read things and then it lasts some months thinking over whether I should use or this quotation or whether I feel that this might be a score. Usually I feel like excited about the quotation, but I can't believe that this should be a score or could be a score. And it's like getting used to the idea that this is a score.
Was that an intention to look for a quotation that would serve as a score, or were you reading it anyway, for example? And
now it is, but the first score with the quotation is 2008 one, and I only used the quotation there as there's some words of mine to frame the situation, and within this, the quotation. And it's from Nagarjuna, this Indian philosopher from the 2nd century. And I was just reading this and finding these words who seem to be so appropriate.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
So I thought, why finding own words if these words fit so well to a situation I wanted to have described? In a sounding environment, a hardly distinguishable orchestra sound. This is, let's say, my proposition, and then this is the Nagarjuna quotation, independent.
This is your orchestral piece. Because I haven't seen this actually. I remember people talking about it, but I haven't seen it.
In this moment, this is the first score with quotations, and it hasn't been planned. It just Anton asked me to write an orchestra score.
For that.
For the concerts in Düsseldorf.
So how was the realization of that then?
Then there were about 22 musicians, and it was in Düsseldorf this huge space, Kunstraum, and the musicians were all spread over the space. There were 3 performances of 3 sets of concerts, and it's always at the beginning this piece. And so the setting was slightly different. I think twice it was dispersed over the space, and once it was kind of a regular set. And the performances lasted maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds.
Did you stipulate that at the time? Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was the proposition then, really to. Without multiplicity. I really try to have just one thing, and in a certain way, I feel that in music. So quickly it becomes many things.
Well, especially if you have 22 people, I suppose, as well, though.
Yes.
I mean, that's one way, I suppose.
Yes. But I mean, also, if, I mean, it's like, I felt it's like just one thing, just the sound before things become music.
Mm-hmm.
Or things become something like structured music.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And then, I mean, just some musician would begin and the others would kind of join in to
Mm-hmm.
make one sound. And it was really beautiful because when they were dispersed over space, quite a part of the group didn't hear
Mm-hmm.
the sounds a few were producing just to begin. And then the situation was extremely unclear.
Mm-hmm. But that was good for you.
That was good because
suited.
then something just came together
Mm-hmm.
and absolutely uncontrollable. And some musicians didn't even hear anything at all.
Mm-hmm. And did some musicians not play as well?
Yes, that was the consequence. But this is absolutely perfect because, I mean, why should they play? It's just the idea was just to have this, to have something coming together without, like in the Deleuze quotation, without corresponding or following in some ways each other or together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In a certain way, like a glimpse of a moment in life. It's just all comes together, all ideas, all sounds, all kind of lives. I mean, sometimes people ask me what would be a bad performance.
Yeah. Okay.
And in a certain way, I can say that every performance just shows or just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's possible to, if you have something happening, you can enjoy it because it's maybe beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not so beautiful or if you don't like it, it's still there. And it makes you think about what is there. Just maybe of what is your notion of this, what you feel is just stupid. So in a certain say, it's just that something other is said that what you have wished.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, it's working as well. Because it's just, in a certain way, it's just it's just the situation of the possibilities of this moment.
It's the fact of a realization. Then.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Or it's just a moment of reality in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this question is, since a long time, this is present. Because if you work with, say, silence, then you always get things into your performance which are not planned.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And I remember I remember some performances where once with Michael Pissarro in Chicago that we did Stück 1998, and in another room of the buildings somebody sang on the piano Freddie Mercury, Queen. Yes, and so in a certain way what we heard in this performance was mostly Freddie Mercury. And it was just there. And in a certain way it was beautiful.